A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
When Alex became a god, he thought he would have no problems at all. Until... He landed in the Divine Dimension and was tasked with protecting the entire multiverse.
Am I connected to every single Alex Ambrose that ever existed?
Alex could travel across dimensions, defying the laws of time and space, to help other Alexes throughout the multiverse. But then everything changed.
No! Aw!
I have to go back and save them.
But if Alex went back to the mortal world, he would relinquish all of his power and his memories.
I don't have a choice. I must go back.
When Alex returned back to Earth, he goes back to being your average business tycoon millionaire, unaware that the people he cared most about are in danger.
Someone help me!
Yvonne, what happened?
I was attacked by a monster. Alex? What's going on? Get away from him! He is my boyfriend!
Who attacked Yvonne in the forest? What will Debbie do next? Who will Alex choose between the two women? Will Alex ever remember who he was before traveling into a different multiverse? To hear what happens next and whether Alex can stop the deranged monster before he strikes again, listen to the original audio drama, Insta Millionaire Returns, only on Pocket FM. Download the app now and find out.
Presentation.
This is the Daredevil series from Iowa Speedway, only on Turn 200. Welcome to live coverage of the Daredevil series here on Turn 200. It's round number 7 of the 5th season from Iowa Speedway in the middle of nowhere in Iowa. If you're from the Midwest, you're sick and tired of hearing about corn and corn sweat, so we're going to make the corn sweat tonight instead of what it is doing, which is sweating. I don't know if that made more sense in my head. But regardless, we're here with the Daredevil series. It's short track racing time. It's Tommy Cook. It's Matt Williamson. Welcome back to the short track here for the second time in series history, Mr. Matt Williamson. And are you ready to go short track racing?
100%. I am ready to go short track racing with a car that goes extremely, extremely fast around Iowa here. It's going to be interesting. Drivers are saying some interesting things about the setup here, and but I think once we get going, it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful sight.
About a 50-50 split right now with some drivers that are handling it quite well and some other drivers that are not handling it quite well. But 100 laps to get it sorted out. Why don't we take a look at the points standings? For those of you with a keen eye, you'll notice a new name atop the standings after Long Beach last week.
You certainly will, and that name is Mr. Brody Gunter. Gunter has taken the lead in the points. Of course, well documented the troubles for many of your leaders, Martin Camano, James Watson, among others that were here in the top 10, having major problems at Long Beach. So Gunter is atop. James Watson now sits in second. Martin Camano there in third. And then Matt Schlosser, Christopher Hill, Dakota DeMay, Nicholas Isidro, TJ Crampton, Victor Aldrich, and Stephen C. Thompson round out your top 10. But, I mean, we are well past halfway here in the season, and 7 drivers are within one race of the points. Or I guess 6 drivers are within one race of Brody Gunter, I guess I should say. And that is quite a few compared to what we've seen in seasons past.
Certainly, at this point last season, we were down to just 3, basically, that were realistically eligible, not mathematically. But yeah, we'll talk about the point standings as the night rolls along here tonight. But we got an extra goodie for those of you that are tuned in. If you're not in the Discord, you may have missed that Truck 200 is coming back starting in November. That is our flagship truck series. It's coming back for one final season. We got a minute and 30 seconds here. We're going to briefly reveal the schedule for season 3 for those of you watching right now.
Boom. There it is. Truck 200. The truck stops here. That's right. It is back for one final go-around. Recruitment race at Texas before the season starts. And then you'll see 2 dates for Daytona. We're running the duels on 11-11, which is kind of fitting because it's 2 1s in both of those. So it's like the duels, you know. Pretty cool. Love that when it comes together. And then, of course, Daytona proper is going to be on the 18th. And Atlanta will be the legacy version of Atlanta. We're not doing a real-life NASCAR dual super speedway in a row. Atlanta is going to be the legacy version. And then we got Mid-Ohio, North Wilkesboro, Darlington, Volusia. Yeah, that's right. That's not a dirt track that trucks commonly go to, so that one's going to be interesting. Michigan, Rockingham, Zandvoort, Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach would be interesting. Las Vegas, IMS. We're going to Indy. I love it. And then we'll be right here at Iowa like we are tonight. And then we're going to the Kansas Road Course. That was a request by me. Then we go to Talladega and Chicagoland to end it. Now that is a season.
Absolutely. Those final 5 there in that right-hand column are in a chase format. The top 8 drivers in points after the first 11 races will be in it for the championship for the final 5 at Indy, Iowa, Kansas, Talladega, and Chicagoland. So that is the schedule. It'll be posted in its proper form in the Discord server. So come join the Discord server if you want to race in Truck 200. And we'll look forward to seeing you there. And we'll look forward to seeing the drivers on the track here under the lights at Iowa Speedway for the second time in series history. And with a record-setting pole position, once again, it's Dakota DeMay who will lead the field to the green. Ashton Crowder is back for more after a podium finish last week at Long Beach. He will start on the outside of the front row. Victor Aldrich is going to start in P3. Last time we went over racing, he was on the podium. Nate Siefker will start to his outside, the Iowan himself in 4th. It's Christopher Hill, last week's winner, the first repeat winner on the season, starting in 5th. Brody Gunter is the new points leader. He'll start in 6th. The driver he took that points lead from is the Season 3 champ, James Watson. He will start in 7th. Joshua Rutherford will line up in P8. Matt Short was fast in practice by a wide margin. He will start in 9th. TJ Crampton will round out the top 10 starters. It's Matt Schlosser, who made his debut on turn 200 here at Iowa. I do believe, anyway. He will start in 11th. Martin Camano will start in spot number 12. Christopher Kretzky and Sean Begley on row 7. Corey Rutherford and Ryan Dye on row 8. Matt Wagner, winner in Indianapolis a couple of weeks ago, way back there in 17th. Paul Ellison to his outside. He's been on a good run of late. He will start at 18th. Matt Johnston, Kenny Stepp, and Austin Lafferty, the 21 drivers that will take to Iowa Speedway tonight. Matt, what do we got for track conditions? What do we got for the strategy notes?
Taking a look at the track conditions here, 74 degrees is the track temperature, so very cool. But it takes a while for heat to get into these tires, so drivers are going to have to be careful these first few laps. Otherwise, we could have some major issues early on here. We got 100 laps around Iowa here tonight. No fast repairs as always. Fuel is going to take us probably just past the halfway mark, although I'm not sure it's going to be totally, completely green, so that could get switched up a little bit should we have cautions come out at peculiar times, but should be a one-stop race here.
Should very much indeed. Dakota DeMade did a risky move before the start of this race. He ordered a pizza, and it sounds like it got here just in the nick of time, but now he's going to have to try and eat this pizza and lead the field. So,
if anybody's up to the task, it's Dakota DeMade.
I believe in Dakota DeMade's ability to do just that. And also, not only that, to also lead here at Iowa, because he led the most laps here at Iowa back in Season 3, ended up losing that race to Hunter Engrav, but still finished runner-up and led the most laps. So, Dakota knows how to do it around Iowa Speedway here. We had to change the setup a little bit from last time because the car changed, and it didn't pass tech without some adjustments. So, we'll see how the drivers adjust to that, at least the ones that are returning. And like some of the comments at the beginning of the broadcast suggested, not all the drivers are loving this set, but the lights are down now. The track conditions have changed, but there will be a lot of dirty air pushed backwards from this front row. Dakota DeMade and Ashton Crowder for the first time on an oval with the Daredevils. The Daredevils are on the move at Iowa Speedway. We've already made it further than we did in Season 1, although not much further. There is Gunter into the wall, and the caution is out. Little by little, we'll make a full first lap at Iowa someday, but it may not be, or it won't be here tonight, as Gunter into the wall, and that car is not in a good way.
No, not whatsoever. Don't think he's even going to be able to stay ahead of the pace car here.
That is your points leader, by the way.
I would be shocked if this isn't a 10-minute required. Maybe not quite that long, but it's going to be quite a while. That's assuming there's no engine damage.
Yeah.
And even then, it's probably not going to be all that great to drive.
No, that's, what was it, Junior Johnson that had the banana car, the banana-shaped car? It's kind of the same idea, although he got his toes aligned. This one doesn't quite have that.
So Gunter was trying to go outside in. You're going to see that line a lot here tonight where they start up by the wall and try and cut down to the middle of the racetrack. And makes contact there. I believe that's Christopher Hill.
That is Christopher Hill in the 101.
I always get messed up because I think it says 31 on the
It does
side
say,
of the car.
It's got a 31 on the side and a 31 and a 101 on the nose wing.
So Gunter is in for probably lengthy repairs, and boy, what an opportunity for some of the drivers to potentially get to the top of the heap before we go to Pocono next week.
Yeah, so James Watson was a bit disgruntled after his race last week at Long Beach and kind of seemed to throw in the towel just a bit. But just like that, he would be, I believe he would be the points leader right now as they run. He's in 6th. DeMade would be the only other one that would be close to him. Hill would also be kind of close. Also important on that, Ashton Crowder took the lead on that restart. Not by much, but he was ahead when the caution came out, so that will put DeMade behind. These are single file restarts here at the short track. Next week at Pocono, you know, if we have a caution, LOL, they'll be double file since it's a 2.5 mile track. But here tonight, single file. And it should also say, since I'm the one throwing at cautions, I try to be consistent. It did kind of look like Gunter was going to come back down the track, and there were still plenty of cars going past. So that was a cautionary caution. In the grand scheme of things, maybe didn't need to be one, but it could have developed into something bigger. So that's why I threw that.
No need to explain it.
Well, we try to be consistent here.
Let's try it again, Tommy.
Absolutely. We'll get this one going. A few laps in the books, but none under green thus far. We're back at our way. Siefker with a big run. He'll jump straight away to the outside.
Wow, look at all the drivers right up there on the wall on exit of 2. You kind of got to do that to be fast around here.
There are some drivers that are fast on the bottom, but certainly not with cold tires. They're not. Gunter made it back out on track, but he's brought his car back down pit road here. As DeMade has slipped back to 3rd, challenging now to try and get back up to 2nd as Crowder leading the field. Big battling just behind them inside the top 5. Watson's gotten past this duel between Crampton and Aldrich. And now Crampton will slip ahead. Siefker in P2 trying to track down Ashton Crowder, puts up the purple lap.
Ooh, Corey Rutherford looks like he touched the wall a bit. He's working the top side. Martin Camano and Christopher Kresge in front of him, working the bottom. Whoa.
Big crossover there.
Nearly contact, and it would have been a big one.
Certainly.
As they are now side by side through 3 and 4. And now Rutherford's clear. Matt Short now.
Bertie Gunter's night is officially over. Is Short going to look to the outside of Victor Aldrich? I mentioned Short was fastest in practice. He actually ran over 100 laps in practice continuously. On the same set of tires as well.
Wow. So he's got a full race in here.
Yep.
Well, look out for Matt Short. He's up to 7th now.
Yeah, that was not the qualifying effort he was looking for, but he's made quick work of a few drivers in the early laps.
There's Corey Rutherford underneath of Christopher Kresge now. Rutherford's been all over this racetrack from the top to the middle to the bottom. And he's going to have another go on the bottom here into 1. This has to lift a little too much.
It's a lot of momentum here. I think Austin Lafferty, who was very fast in practice, just cracked the wall. He's dropped to the tail of the field.
Corey trying to gain momentum on the top side. Now looks to the bottom again. Wow. Oh, Kresge touches the wall.
Man, that
Rutherford.
was more than a touch. Rutherford right there to defend, throwing some dirty air on the hampered 777. That moved Corey Rutherford into the top 10. Next up will be his brother, Joshua.
Whoa.
Oh, Kresge into the wall again. Yeah, once you hit it once, you're going to be hard-pressed to stop.
And that's Camano behind, and right behind them, Begley and Ryan Dye have kind of gotten into the mix here as well.
Martin looking for a pass. Not a lot happening in front of him. Everybody trying to reel in gaps. Crowder leading now by a second out front. Crucial for him, that is out of the slipstream range, even at a short track like this.
Camano and Kresge continue to battle side by side here through 1 and 2. Looks like Kresge has the advantage. You're just able to carry so much speed up there on the top. It's very difficult to get that bottom lane right.
Well, Camano backed up, turns 3 and 4, got a decent run. Can he clear, though? Not quite. Kresge hanging on. About to have a battle of the Rutherfords in front of these two, as Corey and Joshua are drawn pretty close together, as there's another hit to the wall for Christopher Kresge.
Sean Begley hit the apron. Ryan Dye has a good run on him.
Yeah, Begley got the door shut on him by Christopher Kresge.
But now Dye has to deal with Matt Johnston.
Johnson coming off the back of his best finish with the Daredevils, a P4 last week at Long Beach.
Here's Dye to the inside of Begley.
And behind them, Ellison underneath of Matt Johnston as well.
Dye sends it there into one, but has to back way up. Now it's a 3-car battle behind him. Schlosser's in the middle of it. And Nate Siefker just ran the purple lap of the race from second.
Oh, Matt Schlosser, I think, tagged the wall. He's got a meatball flag.
Yeah, he's blown up.
Oh, wow.
I didn't even get
Maybe
a crash incident for that.
Maybe didn't hit the wall then. Maybe blew the motor. Maybe downshifted.
Could be possible.
Well, he's crashed again, so he is certainly out of the race. Siefker is turning marginally faster laps up front than Ashton Crowder. But the gap stands at 1.3 seconds for now. Wouldn't it be cool for Nate Siefker to get his 3rd career Daredevil Series victory at Iowa Speedway, of all places? But he's got a lot of work to do to get himself up to where Ashton Crowder runs right now at the front of the field.
Pit stops
If we
are going
manage,
to be
I'm just about to say,
important.
and they're also going to be very tricky. Getting off of turn number 4 at speed, somebody will spin out. It's just a question of how far onto the track they will spin out or if they'll hit the barriers. It's not even a question. It's going to be treacherous.
Now James Watson just ran the purple lap of the race and is closing in on Christopher Hill.
Very important night for James Watson, with Gunter and Schlosser both out of the mix now, as they're both out of the race. Watson could use some points for the road on the way to Pocono next week. Matt Short in P7 purple lap. So these tires are just firing, and it's lap 35. How funny is that? Lots of personal best going on the board this time, and a purple lap from Ashton Crowder to boot.
Fuel load getting lighter too, that plays a factor in it as well. But you're right, nearly over half the field just ran a personal best.
And they're still clocking in. Seifert continues to close. Nearly under a second now.
The run for Watson has stalled just a bit here.
May have hit some turbulence from behind the 101. DeMade in P3 with the purple lap, the 1955. Purple lap in practice was an 1894. So we got a ways to go, but I think it's very much doable. Crowder and then Seifert go purple. And then Matt Short.
Seifert is just literally inching closer to Crowder right now.
Yeah. 2 1,000ths faster last time around. But now he's inside of
getting closer.
9/10 of a second. He'll start to sniff that draft. He'll want it down the straights. He won't want the dirty air in the corners. He'll have to find a way around that. But he'll have some benefit here.
From Christopher Kresge,
who's been in the wall, 3 times?
A 1951 for the patriarch of the series.
From back in P12. Crowder going to start to catch some lap traffic here. As we're probably about 10 to 15 laps away from pit stops here.
Yeah, I would say probably right around, you hit it on the head, 10 to 15. I forgot about the caution to open the race, so push the window back a little bit.
Going off of what we've seen in practice, some of these drivers towards the front of the field probably are not going to take tires. Matt Short was going very fast at the end of his full-length practice race run.
Yeah, I can almost bet that they're not.
Especially if it does happen to go green the whole time, which I'm betting that it does not. But there is a chance. Christopher Hill, 1946.
Crowder and Seifert have started trading laps now. Seifert had been just a little bit faster pretty consistently. And Crowder has opened it up by about a 10th.
Corey Rutherford cracked the wall out of turn 4. He's got Martin Camano all over him. As Crowder now into some lap traffic, Austin Lafferty is ahead.
Oh, Rutherford's coming out pit road.
Corey Rutherford down pit road, and he will make it without incident. So there's your first pit stop here on lap 48.
Here's your leader, Crowder, with Lafferty in front. Will it stall him?
He's not been able to dispatch of him just yet. He's been working on him here for a couple laps.
Boy, this could
Hill
really
goes
change
purple.
things. Still not able to clear. Gonna take a dive to the inside.
He's going to slide him here unless Lafferty gives it to him. That didn't even need to slide him. Takes the spot outright. Or rather, the track positioning.
Crowder only loses about half a tenth through the whole thing.
And goes purple. Why not? Oh, Siefker then bests him. Ken Estep now is up for Ashton Crowder. And Crowder will sneak underneath. So now 2 lappers between Crowder and Siefker. As Christopher Kresge again goes purple. A 19:25. That is a huge lap.
It's 2/10 faster than anybody else.
Yes, yes it is. Joshua Rutherford and Corey Rutherford both just hit the wall out of turn 4.
Matt Wagner just got past Johnston. Now Johnston fighting back underneath. This is for 15th.
Oh, boy! Yikes.
Wagner pulls it off the wall and nearly makes big contact with Johnston.
Wow. That
Just
could have
about
been a
ended both of their
disaster.
nights.
The Society of Mats breathes a sigh of relief after that one. They've been through the ringer already with Matt Schlosser out of the race.
We have to be very close to more pit stops here.
Ken Estep says he's pitting this time. He just went a lap down. And he has made it to pit road. Oh, no, he is not. He's hit the barrier. Nosed it into the cones there. Luckily, they don't deploy virtual sand.
We'll stay on Crowder for right now. See if we can see him coming down pit road. Here comes Matt Short.
This will be a big one because Short is moving through the field. He has made it safely on.
Crowder goes by another time.
So do Siefker, DeMade, Watson. Here comes Victor Aldrich. He's taking the safer way. He pit off of turn 3.
But undoubtedly the slower way.
Certainly is. Oh, Matt Shorts. Pit road speeding violation on exit. Man.
Wow, look like he got slowed down too. I mean, that had to have been was that an exit you said?
On exit, yeah.
Okay.
So here he comes back down pit road.
Plenty of time.
Yeah, I think he's just going to call it a night. That's
Maybe
too bad.
Punched it a little too quickly.
Man. Well, the Society of Mats is in shambles at this point. Although Matt Wagner did just post the purple lap.
Over 60 laps and still lots of drivers left to come down pit road here.
Oh. Christopher
comes
Hill,
Crowder.
Austin Lafferty, Ashton Crowder.
Whoa, Siefker
Yeah.
nearly clipped the back of Crowder there.
That was tight. Seifker says he's coming this time. Martin Camano is pitting. James Watson coming down this time. Crampton, yeah, this will be most of everybody.
Oh, Seifker spins it!
And that will bring out a caution as James Watson also spinning. Keeps it out of the wall. Ooh.
Seifker was trying to get everything out of that pit entry, which that's pretty much what he has to do to gain any little advantage. To try and get within that second of Crowder, but he got in there too quickly, stabbed the brakes, and it went around.
Well, that's going to throw a huge wrench in this. I think Crowder's pinned a lap down, if I'm not mistaken. Watson with the spin will be, I guess, still towards the front of the field, and Seifker as well.
Wow.
And we don't manually assign penalties here. So that is how it's going to roll. Yeah, those drivers with an early pit stop are probably not feeling great. Certainly no ill intent by those two trying to get down pit road, but they did bring out the caution.
Yeah, we're going to go in the cockpit with Seifker here, and let's just watch him try and fly through 3 and 4 and get in there as quickly as possible. There he is on the back stretch. I'm not even sure he had hit the brakes yet. I mean, he had just let off the throttle. And then there's Watson. I'm not too sure Watson maybe spun because he was trying to avoid going down pit road maybe after the caution flew. I'm not sure. Looked like he did get a little bit upset when he was on the apron, like from the transition from the oval to the apron as well. So maybe a little bit harder to tell there. But, well, I mean, very, very difficult pit entrance. And a couple of mistakes there bring out a caution.
Seifker, I think, is going to the tail of the lead lap drivers regardless. I think he picked up a penalty of some kind on pit road. So that will send him to the tail anyway. So he'll be outside of the top 10. Crowder, Hill, Camano, Aldrich, and Corey Rutherford, who's in this line, but I believe 2 laps down, are going to get the wave around here, or they should. And Austin Lafferty would have been among those drivers, but he just lagged out of the session. But what that will do is give the field to Dakota DeMay. DeMay now the leader. Watson in second. Crampton, Joshua Rutherford, Christopher Kresge, the top 5. Matt Johnston has come back down pit road.
Well, Dakota DeMade is back at the front of the field now for a restart.
Yes, he is. Lap 68 of 100. We're in the closing stretch, and DeMade is in the driver's seat. Backing her way.
Wow, look at this. Watson, big run.
Can he go anywhere with it? Oh, crash! Big crash. Oh, my. That was an absolute mess. Crampton, Kresge, Begley, Crowder, Seifker, Dye, Aldrich, Hill, Johnston, Camanio, Corey Rutherford, Ken Estep.
And you see Camanio's night is going to be done.
I mean, I think that's a lot of nights over. We might not have 10 cars left. That was a huge wreck. One of the biggest of the season.
Let's take a look. I think it may start with Kresge and Begley and...
I think TJ Crampton.
Yes.
The first one I saw.
You're right. Kresge and Begley were side by side. And back it up and see Crampton's entry. Oh, he starts to spin and then overcorrects it straight right into the wall, comes back down the racetrack. There's Begley and Kresge flying in, and then folks trying to get slowed down for it is where some of the other action happens. Seifker goes straight up the racetrack into Crowder. I'm wondering if he was trying to avoid what was there on the bottom of the racetrack. And then you see Whoa, that's Camanio was slow on the top. He had slowed down, went to the very top side of the racetrack. Oh, I see. There was contact before then. And I think that was E-step. That's what caused the wheel to fall off of Camanio there. And two drivers upside down after it's all said and done. Goodness. And yes, Matt could have picked up some positions if he would have stayed out there. Tommy, I think you're right. Less than 10.
Yep.
Or maybe right at 10, but one of them a lap down.
I'm showing in with a... Oh, sorry. I forgot to mute on the broadcast.
Tommy doing admin things while on the broadcast. Always a difficult challenge.
Yep. Sometimes you just forget to press the button. It is. I think it is. Which is surprising in 3 seasons of doing this. The question was why Victor Aldrich did not get the lucky dog, because he was in position for it, and just by the narrowest of margins, he got tapped from behind from Christopher Hill. For those of you that don't know, if you register any kind of contact during a crash and you're the first driver a lap down, you don't get awarded your lap back, which is weird. But we try not to override the system if at all possible. He technically was involved in the accident. So was Corey Rutherford to a much larger extent. So neither of those drivers got the lucky dog.
And the official number still running is 12. But Aldrich, Rutherford, and Eastep at least 1 lap down.
Yeah, Aldrich 1 lap down. Rutherford 1 lap down. Ken Eastep is 2 laps down. So now it's DeMade once again, and he was having to fend off James Watson there. We'll have to do it again. Closing in on 25 laps to go. We're not too far away. And we have a lot less cars to try and make it to the end. Green flag is back out.
DeMade dives down to the bottom of the racetrack on the restart.
Watson, big run. He'll send it. Oh, down on the apron there. That was risky business. DeMade leading.
You got to feel like DeMade is going to protect this top side, although he does go outside to in.
DeMade is going to protect everything.
Would be a huge win here.
Matt Johnston, Christopher Hill side by side. Johnston will move through for 6th and turn the purple lap to boot.
Rutherford, Wagner, Begley all here together fighting for a podium position. Wagner underneath. Has it for now.
That was awfully tight there into turn 3.
It always is.
Rutherford sliding back towards Sean Begley. I'd be more worried about Matt Johnston. He has flown up on these few drivers. May went purple last time around. Matt Johnston went purple. As here goes Sean Begley now underneath the 64 Rutherford. And Johnson.
Whoa, Johnston
he's
tries
gonna
to make it 3 wide, and he does.
Wow. Moves Begley up the track. Oh, boy. How was that not a wreck?
I have no idea. That was
aggressive.
A hell of a move. It certainly was. Wagner starting to run down Watson here. DeMade with a little bit of a gap back to 2nd and 3rd.
DeMade is clocking some pretty fast laps here. As Wagner has the run.
Wagner's figured out this bottom lane.
Yes, he has. And then Begley was almost clear. Joshua Rutherford, they continue to battle side by side. Wagner down low here in 1 and 2, still not clear on the team boss. DeMade wants to get this lead to a 2nd before they stop battling. That's not going to happen. Wagner's clear.
Now we look back, Begley around Rutherford, Matt Johnston still behind Rutherford here. Wagner is making time in small margins up to DeMade, but we'll still have 17 laps to go here.
I think DeMade is going to have to play some defense here before too much longer. Nearly down to half a second. Wagner well within draft range. And DeMade's been through this before, had to duke it out to the bitter end with Hunter Engrav, only to come up short by 1 spot. Does not want to go through that again.
Wagner now running more the middle line through the corners, carrying a lot of speed.
Carrying a lot of momentum and also getting himself some clean air to that front wing. This gap is closing in a hurry. Wagner within a few car lengths. We'll see if he hits this 3/10 bubble and can't pop it, or if it's just going to bring him right up.
He looks to be inching ever closer.
Yes, he does.
DeMade continues to run that bottom line, but not sure it's the right one.
Wagner will have a big run here. Is he going to take it into turn number 1, or is he going to wait a little bit longer?
Now DeMade changes the line a little bit. Another half lane up.
Throwing some dirty air. Wagner closes the gap.
DeMade back to the bottom.
Big run here for Wagner. He'll take it this time. And he's cleared. Wagner to the lead. Dakota DeMade back to second.
Wagner has an absolute rocket on the back of the 6 right now.
Yes, he does.
Somebody better do post-race inspection on that one.
We had Michael Waldford prepare that car. Well, the main struggles are not over. Watson is closing. So is Sean Begley. And having to dispatch the 200 of Ryan Dye. DeMade lost quite a bit of time. It's nearly a second as Wagner is pulled away.
That puts Dye a lap down, so only 8 drivers on the lead lap now.
Time is running out if Dakota DeMade is going to mount a comeback charge. Lead is out to over a second. Oh, Matt Johnson with a problem down the backstretch. He's down on the low end of the track. I think he's going to keep it going.
Spun!
Oh my! That's the leader, Wagner. Caution is out. Unbelievable. In the closing laps. Oh, and Joshua Rutherford has hit the wall under caution. Man. It's all happening late. I think we're going to overtime.
Overtime at Iowa as Wagner seemed to have all of the cards in his favor. Somebody hit a royal flush. The question is, who is it going to be? Will it be DeMade? Will it be Watson? Or will it be somebody else? Let's take a look. Wagner running that middle line. He actually gets a little bit lower than he had been in the past. And the right rear just got hot on him. He was running absolute heater laps, but he heated that tire up a little too much. And goes for a spin-a-rooney out of turn 2.
Oh, Matt is taking it well over the radio.
And then you see Rutherford trying to get slowed down. He spins it through turn 4 here. Into the wall. Wow, what a turn of events.
It's a wild one.
That was a hell of a drive to get there, and for it all to go up in flames with 3 to go. That is a tough feeling.
Yes, definitely is. It'll send us to overtime here. Matt Johnson, the 404, who had just gone a lap down, will get his lap back. And he is headed down to pit road. But now that puts Dakota DeMay back out front for what will be a 2-lap dash with no cautions. Oh boy. Watson wanted to keep his streak alive of winning a race in every season of the Daredevil series. And DeMay just wanted to get back to victory lane for the first time since season 1. And Begley wanted to get to victory lane. He could be on for his first podium tonight.
Well, we've seen Watson get big runs on DeMay. DeMay's been able to fight a couple of them off up to this point, but has Watson learned something from both of those restarts, and will the third one be the charm? Or maybe DeMay's figured something else out. Season 1 champ looking to get back to victory lane.
I'm sure, especially with a belly full of pizza right now, his blood pressure's got to be pretty high. It's been a wild one again here at Iowa. And it could be even wilder to finish it off. 1 lap to green. This is tense.
Certainly is. I mean, you see Watson scrubbing these tires like crazy.
Watson's in a good spot to come away with the points here, or points lead here regardless, unless Christopher Hill from 4th can take the win. But DeMay also in the points on here, looking for a first win since season 1. He's potentially 2 laps away from accomplishing just that. Pace truck is off. DeMay brings the field back to the green flag. 2 to go.
Great jump for DeMay and Watson. Begley way behind.
Oh, Joshua Rutherford spins.
Oh, takes out Wagner as well. Oh, more.
White flag.
Can Watson get a run here? Not a big one down the backstretch.
DeMay through turn 4 will take the checkered flag. Dakota DeMay is back to victory lane. Christopher Hill will round out the podium. Paul Ellison in 4th. A bizarre finish. We'll have to take a look at what started that one.
But not before letting the Season 1 champ have his flowers. It is finally time that Dakota DeMay has gotten back to victory lane.
Career victory number 3 and a long overdue one at that. Dakota DeMay triumphant at Iowa.
And
that's
the burn
the
down.
celebration.
It sure is. Let's go ahead and take a look at the incident that developed here. And Begley was slow. Christopher Hill goes low. And Rutherford goes low and then loses it down on the bottom of the racetrack. It's down onto the apron, slides back up the racetrack, tags Hill. I think Hill's able to keep it rolling miraculously. But then Ellison and Wagner make contact. And Corey Rutherford goes for a spin as well. Oh my goodness! Matt Johnston does an absolute barrel roll, lands on all four. Somebody put a banana peel down there in turn one, I guess, and set it to seek for the Rutherfords.
That was a 10 on the landing there. The dismount after that was a bit messy there for the 404, but yeah, that was an interesting incident there. Yep. So we'll keep taking some shots of it here, but we'll get around to your full finishing rundown because look at that. Oh my God. Alrighty, full finishing rundown here. DeMay with the win. Watson in second. Hill will round out the podium. We'll talk to all three momentarily. Fourth for Paul Ellison, I believe matches a career best for him in the 55. Sean Begley, I believe also a career best in fifth. Sixth for Victor Aldrich. Seventh for Joshua Rutherford, a DNF. Matt Wagner, Matt Johnson, Ryan Dye, all involved there at the end. Then Corey Rutherford and Ken Estep. Those are the 12 drivers that were running at the drop of the white flag, or at the drop of the green flag, rather. Then it is Martin Kamanian with 13th, Nate Sieveker, and 14th, TJ Crampton, Christopher Kresge, Ashton Crowder, Austin Lafferty, Matt Short, Matt Schlosser, and Brody Gunter, early retiree in P21. Alrighty, it is time to talk to your podium finishers, and it's back-to-back Booth 200 appearances on a Wednesday for Christopher Hill, last week's winner, P3 here tonight. Congrats.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm happy with that after, midway point there with the caution. Thought we kind of got in trouble, and especially that last restart was interesting to say the least.
Yes.
So happy to get a podium out of what could have been a lot worse. So.
Yeah, it seems like you were in the thick of a lot of stuff here tonight, and I don't really know if any of it was your fault. You had contact there on the opening lap. Of course, got pinned down by that caution. Double contact there on the final on the final restart as well. I mean, gotta feel like a champion just surviving tonight.
Yeah, I definitely feel very lucky to have survived to the end and still end up with a decent finish. So, I mean, I don't think that was going to be a strong race for me no matter what. So I'm glad to get that one out of the books with a podium and not losing too many points to James and some of those ahead. I still have a hope or a dream that maybe I'll catch up some here and still get a chance for the championship, but I don't know. It's a long shot here since I missed a couple races, so we'll see how it goes.
Matt, what do you got?
Yeah, congrats on a good run here. It was pretty chaotic out there. Lots of drivers before the race started. Some complaints about the handling of the race car, but it seemed like by the end of the night it was pretty darn good. How did it develop from your point of view?
Well, yeah, the early parts of the race there was a very single groove and very, very difficult to do anything. You're kind of just stuck the same distance behind people. I mean, maybe somebody with a little bit more oval experience could have figured out a trick or two, but I was definitely struggling to try to move forward in any way, shape, or form. By the end, though, the car was better, but it still was a very difficult car to make any ground. I mean, it was easier to drive by the end. So I think the cautions made the race more entertaining. Without the cautions, I think it would have stayed a little monotonous to the end there. But yeah, I guess it is what it is, But yeah, we'll take it.
Absolutely. Congrats on another podium here. Who do you want to thank? Who do you want to shout out?
Thanking the guys at Team Watson. Great to run with them as usual. Always going to mention Precision Racing Instruction. If you're looking for little coaching or anything along those lines, feel free to reach out. We can help you out either here or in the real world. And yeah, thanks for hosting, and looking forward to hopefully next week Pocono. I'm looking. That's a good one for me. So I'm hoping we can have a good finish there. And yeah, see you guys next week.
Absolutely. A former winner at Pocono. Looking forward to it. So, yeah, good luck next week, but go celebrate the P3 here tonight.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Pull up your Season 3 champion now. It's a runner-up finish and back to form for James Watson back on the podium here. Congrats on a good run here tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a rough last couple weeks for me, both in the series and off the track. So I really needed a result like this, especially since, as you've seen, my luck the last couple weeks has not been good. So having kind of everything I needed to, for the most part, kind of happening, knock on wood, it was just what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, certainly a lot of things fell into place here tonight. It could have gone awry there with the spin as the caution was coming to pit road. But a great recovery from that point on.
Yeah, as I saw the wall getting closer, I'm like, no, my points gap. Like I told myself not to do anything stupid, and here I am sliding to the wall like an idiot.
Matt, what do you got?
Yeah, congrats on a good finish here, James. It was an up and down race for you here, but you got to start behind Dakota 2 other times before that final restart. Was there anything that you had learned? Or, I mean, your other 2 restarts were pretty darn good, just couldn't quite get it done either before the caution came out or just in general. Was there anything that you learned that you kind of had up your sleeve there at the end?
I had like about 100 calculations, and they were all wrong. There's nothing that you could really do unless you caught a break. Like the first restart, he went to the inside, which is what I needed, but I didn't have enough tire temp to really take advantage of that. And then the next couple times, he took the outside, and you just can't do any. It was so hard to pass, especially if you're trying to pass someone with clean air. Like the second time I tried to send a slide job, but I knew that it wasn't going to work, and then I immediately got a gut feeling saying don't do it, so I ended up kind of pulling out for the most part. And yeah, I suppose that was like my best opportunity, but opportunity in quotation marks. There was nothing you could really do. That's what was crazy about Wags, like the fact that he just drove up past us like we were standing still. Like neither me or Dakota could wrap our head around that. But yeah, once Dakota had the lead, there's nothing you can do. So you hope for some sort of miraculous mistake, but otherwise it's just like hold on to P2 and just take the much needed good point stay.
Oh, well, it's great to get to talk to you again here on a Wednesday. Hopefully we can do this every week from now on until the end of the season. But
hopefully.
In the meantime, who do you want to thank? Who do you want to shout out?
Yeah, I got to thank everyone at Team Watson Racing Setups. Use code WATSPIN39 for 10% off at checkout. Chris Graham and the National Racing Network. Martin Sports Sim Racing Apparel, ZS Designs, and Dizzy V Designs for my paint schemes. Boomer Butt Boxes, and my folks for watching at home.
Alrighty, partner. Hopefully we'll talk to you next week at Pocono, but go celebrate the P2.
Here's open.
And now, the long-awaited return to Boot 200, not just a return, but a return to victory lane nonetheless. It is the demigod, the cornfield kid at home, away from home here in the sim. It's Dakota DeMade, back as a race winner with the Daredevil series. Congratulations. Long overdue.
Thanks. Yeah, it definitely has been a while. I kind of threw away that last Iowa race a couple seasons ago, so happy to I guess pull it off this time. I don't know if I pull it off. I feel like I don't know. I just got lucky.
You didn't pull it off. You pulled it out. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That was definitely one of the most bizarre races I've seen in a while. It just seemed like God didn't want me to lose. And I don't know why.
Well, it was kind of like that at Rockingham too. Maybe we've shook the bug, or we got that off your back now. You can win some normal races again. But really interesting race after taking the pole. Quick caution, you lose the lead, you drop back a couple of spots. You benefit from the caution coming out there. And then hang around for the rest of the race at the front and towards the front. Matt Wagner there. I mean, it was pretty obvious he was burning up his stuff, but it looked like he had it under wraps until all of a sudden he didn't.
Yeah, he cut through us like butter, and I expected him to just continue to take off, and I was gonna settle in second, and then next thing I know, there's a pink blur sideways on the track, and I'm just like, how did I get here? I mean, yeah, Crowder should have probably had that one, and he got unlucky with Nate spinning, and yeah, just a bizarre series of events. And then there's and on the last lap, there's just a junkyard of cars everywhere. So
yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
That was certainly one of those things in our head when we say there's no more cautions from here on out, and then all of a sudden the leaders are weaving in and out of debris and damaged race cars on the final lap. It kind of puts things into perspective a little bit.
Hey, that's Daredevil. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, it is Daredevil, I do suppose. Matt, what do you got for the race winner?
Yeah, congrats on the big win, man. I mean, this is your first win since the championship season, and I mean, this is kind of unfolding a little bit like the championship season. You kind of went on a late season run, and they're able to pull it out. You get a win here today. We got some good tracks for you coming up. I mean, what do you say? How are we feeling going into the last few races?
I hate to say this, but I'm gonna miss a race.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But I mean that race is, well, hold on. What race am I missing again?
It's either Pocono, Spa, or Gateway.
Yeah. So I'm trying to find the schedule real quick. So yeah, I'll be missing Spa, which
oh well.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I was hoping it would fall on the build week, and iRacing would take too long to come back up, and you'd have to postpone everything. But keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, though.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I'm still gonna give it everything I can for Pocono and Gateway, and yeah, see what I can do.
Well, you did great here tonight. It's great to have you back here in Victory Lane. Congratulations. We'll let you go celebrate, but first, who do you want to thank? Who do you want to shout out?
Thank you to shout out to Sunset Arts at Games. That's my company. I got 2 products on Steam, Echo Blade and Voltic Pistol. It got something new coming out in 2025, 2026 soon. So hopefully we'll see. And shout out to Cody Claiborne. I know he was watching tonight. Zach Flom. The FSS guys, you guys do a great job broadcasting FSS as well as Daredevil, and yeah.
Well, and I think you need to have pizza before the race more often too. Maybe that was what pushed you across the line here tonight.
I don't know about that, man. I think that was slowing me down. I think that's how I lost the lead.
You got the grease sweats. Is that what I'm hearing?
Something like that.
Well, great job here tonight. Go celebrate the win. We'll hopefully talk to you again next week at Pocono.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, I need to move you out. There we go. And don't forget, last time he won 1 race, he won 2. So Pocono next week, looking to potentially be another big night for Dakota Domain, even though he does have to miss 1 race in the middle there. If he could somehow string together 2 wins in the next 3 races, I'd say the championship is probably likely his. So we'll see what he's got at Pocono next week and what he'll have for the finale at Gateway. But in the meantime here, Matt, all the drivers alluded to it. This was a weird race today. Definitely, Iowa was always going to be an interesting race, but this one was just, I think, cursed by the children of the corn.
Yeah, it was weird incidents all around. That's for sure. And then you got Matt Johnston doing a double barrel roll and landing right on all four wheels. I don't know what to make of this, but this is one for the history books, that's for sure. It was quite entertaining. I know everybody was entertained out there. And what a rebound for Dakota Domain. That's all I'm going to say. So shout out to everybody that was watching here tonight. Don Golden, Joshua Rutherford, Ashton Crowder, Martine Camano, Matt Short. Fortunately, some of these folks were in the race that were made swift exits or untimely exits. Sebastian cheering on Martine, Ryan Dye, Hunter Engrav, and thank you guys for tuning in here, chatting with us, and anybody else that was watching out there, we appreciate it. And the last three races are going to be awesome. We have a great points championship, points battle between quite a few drivers brewing right here towards the end of the season. That is something you're not going to want to miss.
Absolutely. Tomorrow night, speaking of points battles, it's the regular season finale for the Max VCNC Home Designs Truck Series. That's from Darlington, 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time for that one. Again, no Sunday coverage of the Mission Art Challenge. We've moved it to Monday on a tape delay on your Labor Day Monday. That'll be up around 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, I want to say, but we'll actually wait to have the race and make it before we make that official. And then no Monday action for the Formula Super Series. They're off for 2 weeks. Tuesday night, the Venom Truck Series will roll into Nashville Super Speedway for the King's Courts, presented by Car Inside. That'll lead us into next Wednesday. It's Pocono. It is one of the biggest, craziest races of the year anywhere on Turn 200. Daredevil Series rolling into Pocono next week, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time for that one. We'll hope to see you back here for that. Thank you to the drivers of the Daredevil Series, the Daredevils themselves. Thank you to the GOAT, the one and only Mr. Matt Williamson. Until we meet again here from Iowa Speedway, I'm Tommy Cook saying so long, and congratulations to the demigod, Dakota Domain, back to victory lane for the first time in multiple seasons.